Welcome back. We are still speaking with the Executive Governor of Kano State, Alhaji Rabiu Kwankwaso. Thank you for staying with us, sir.
Thank you, Jacob.
With you being in politics, all through school, and now, your political career, having gone through the ranks, how profitable would you say politics is?
Well, I don't know what you mean by profitable, but I know in life, the older you grow, the more you tilt to areas of your own choice, of what you like. I remember during our primary school days, well, I was one of those who were opportuned to go to boarding primary school. When we had an examination, I performed very well. We had an interview for reasons best known to those who interviewed me. They decided to send me to craft school. Up till now, I find it very difficult to know why. Because you can remember me in the 60s. And I had to go there. I had no choice. From craft school, after 3 years, no matter how much you performed, you have to go to technical school, which I did. From technical school, in those days, we are not taking WASC or any exam that could allow us or qualify us to go to university. The best we could do was to go to Polytechnic, which I did. And even after OND, we did very well. The best I could do was to go for HND. After HND, I passed with
flying colors?
Well, yes. Good result. The best I could do at that time was to go to university. I went to university and so on and so forth. So you can see that at no stage anybody sat me down to ask me, what do you want? Somebody decided this is the direction, and fortunately or unfortunately, I had to follow it. But I have to say that I'm happy that I have gone through the rigor of technical education or engineering. And I think that has prepared me very well for what I'm doing now.
All right, now let me ask you, do you love music?
Well, you see, music is an international language. Whether you understand what they are saying or not, as long as the music is good, that can be enjoyed by Africans, can be enjoyed by Europeans or Asians or anybody. So music is good. I enjoy it, especially that, in politics we have so many musicians, people who sing for our party, for ourselves, and so on. And they put it in such a way that certainly you have to enjoy it, especially if it is for your party or for yourself.
Because I was going to ask you who your favorite Nigerian musician is, or your favorite Nigerian song.
Well, there are so many songs that are good. In politics, there is a particular song that they call Dao Dao.
Dao Dao.
Dao Dao, yes. Okay. That was done in 2010. For me, Dao is comeback.
Oh, comeback.
Yes, comeback. Okay. Yeah. I think it's one of the best Hausa songs music today, and it's being played by the politicians. It's being played even in clubs everywhere.
I certainly must listen to Dao Dao.
Yeah, so I think that one is a very good song. Okay. I like it, and more than that, it helped a lot to mobilize people for us during the 2011 election, and we enjoyed it, and at the same time, it worked for us.
Okay, so the music has to go with the politics.
Oh yes, oh yes. Of course, there are other musicians. Fela, for example, is good. We have also Hausa music like Mama Shata, Kwankwaso, and so on. These are musicians in Hausa. We also have people like Amarai Jos.
Okay.
And we have in Kano many local politicians, musicians, and they are fantastic.
All right, now let's talk about your achievements as a governor as the governor of Kano State, tell us about some of your achievements, things you were able to do for your people that made them think, he must return. We must give him another opportunity to serve us. What are some of the achievements?
Well, thank you very much. You see, 1999 to 2003, we have done so much for the state. Unfortunately, just before the 2003 election, there were things that came up, especially Sharia. And many people used that effectively against us. Especially that time we had a candidate who was from the south and a Christian. And on the other hand, their candidate was somebody who was son of the soil. And they tried that. It worked temporarily, but at the end of the day, when we left, 8 years after we left, people were able to put the two together, the 4 years and 8 years. And all the sensible people that I can remember came to conclusion that those 4 years were better than the 8 years. And therefore, when I went in for re-election, I didn't find it too difficult to be re-elected.
Yeah, exactly.
Even when I did that from my home, I wasn't holding any position. I had no councillor, I had no chairman in the state, I had no commissioner or governor. Or
no existing structure anymore.
Nothing, only the good people of Kano State.
And your good works, obviously.
And of course, what we have done, that is the first 99 to 2003. It's difficult to tell you what we have done at that time. Even in the last 3.5 years, it's very difficult to enumerate what has been achieved in Kano. But we are very proud of our achievements in the area of education, because education is key to our administration. And that was why day one, we started working on the issue of primary education. And we are lucky that for some few years, before we went into government, the state government then were not paying the counterpart fund for the UBA. So we were able to get money quickly and paid them and started building classrooms, offices, toilets, fencing schools, both primary and secondary schools across the state. And of course, we were feeding our children during our first term. And it was a program that we found very useful, and we quickly decided to bring it back again. And we are feeding our children 5 times a week. Not only that, we give them 2 sets of uniform every session.
All free of charge?
All free of charge. We are now paying teachers. We are promoting them and giving them their salaries on the 25th of every month. We're giving them training and retraining. And we also employed thousands of teachers to support our children in our schools. So also, in fact, in addition to that, I am a beneficiary of Borden Primary School. Therefore, we decided to establish new Borden Primary School, which we did. And also in secondary level, we decided to establish so many secondary schools, many of them what we call mega secondary schools, so that they can take or absorb all the pupils that are coming from primary schools. And at the tertiary level, we decided to establish 24 institutes, namely Sports Institute, Informatics Institute, Livestock Institute, Horticulture Institute, Fisheries Institute, Film Institute, even Journalism Institute, Corporate Security Institute, of course, Reformatory Institute, Entrepreneurship Institute, and so on and so forth. So we have 24 on the ground, and we use that effectively to empower our children, to build their capacity. And I'm happy that we have done all that to help our children, our young men and women across the state. In addition to those 24 institutes, we have also established 2 state universities. During my first term in 2001, we were able to establish Kano University of Science and Technology, and in 2012, we established Northwest University. Kano University of Science and Technology now has a population of about 10,000 students. Northwest University in 2012, we admitted 1,000, 2013, 1,200. This year, we are admitting much more than that because we have additional new courses. Not only that, we decided that we should ensure that anybody in Kano who has the requirement to go to university or any tertiary institution is given the opportunity to do so.
Outside the state?
That was why, whether in or outside the state.
Okay.
That was why we decided to support federal universities so that they can give more opportunities to our young
indigenous
men and
students.
Like Usman Danfodio University, we built a very big hostel.
That's in
which has a
Sokoto?
capacity, yes, capacity of 300 students. So also we decided to build similar hostel of 300 bed in Ahmadi Bello University.
In Zaria, Kaduna.
But their campus in, what's the name of
Funtua?
it? In Funtua, yes. We have also done the same at University of Maiduguri. So all these things is to encourage them. Of course, we did a bigger facility for Bayero University in Kano.
BUK.
Yeah, to support them to admit our students in those universities. And in addition to that, we decided to send our children to private universities. We sent 400 to Al-Kalam University in Katsina. We sent 250 to Media University in Edo. We sent 200 to Bells University and 200 to Crescent University, all in Ogun State, and 25 to Apti and Yola, Adamawa State. Now, that's in addition to those who are getting admission
into the states
within the country. And in addition to all those, we decided to use a criteria to send our children abroad for postgraduate studies. And the criteria we set was that anybody who's first class or second class upper would automatically qualify to go for foreign scholarship. Right now we have over 2,000 in 14 countries.
Pretty impressive.
We have now 500 that are going very soon. And I know by the end of the year, we'll have more than 2,500 who are going to benefit, who have benefited from the
scheme.
Foreign scholarship. And at the end of last year, we also decided to declare free education. Now in Kano State, education is free from primary to secondary, even to tertiary level. So we have spent so much over the years, but we believe it's a very good investment that is very important, that we should encourage our children. You know, Kano is one of the educationally disadvantaged states. And by what we are doing in the last 3.5 years, I can assure you that very soon we will do whatever we can to bridge the gap so that we can have a country that is balanced in terms of education
and literacy.
And therefore in terms of opportunities. When you mention literacy, I remember what we are doing under the Agency for Mass Education. We are supporting our people who, for whatever reason, were not able to go to school during their younger age. And the goal is to get at least 80% by 2015. 80% of our people should be able to read and write.
Well, we've been speaking with the governor of Kano State, His Excellency Alhaji Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso, and of course he is a presidential aspirant, and he's been talking to us about his achievements, his work as a Kano State governor, and of course his political ambition. Thank you for staying tuned to the program. I'm Jokele Jadu. See you again next time.